Beloved friends, welcome to PMC English. We are traveling in the path of Dhammapada and also understanding the philosophy of Buddha. In the modern era, most of the people are leading a life in a very confused way. They don't have any clarity on life because the mind is creating many illusions and also it is creating a barrier between the self and also the body and the consciousness. The Buddha say mind is the main problem of every human being who had born on this earth, and it is the cause of misery. It is creating so much of hurdles, negativities and so on. And also if the mind is negative, it will create a hell, and if the mind is positive, it will create a heaven. It all depends on oneself, how you use your mind. Mind is a dangerous phenomenon if you don't have any control on it, and it is a beautiful servant if you are unable to control it. It has the two dimensions and it has the two perceptions, and mind will wander from past to the future and from the future to the past, but it won't settle in the present moment. That is the main root cause of all miseries in the life. Why? Because the life is in the present moment, but you are wandering in the past and in the future. So it is creating so much of hurdles and so much of violence because of this attitude. This whole mind is controlling the life of every human being from so many births and from so many past lives. And according to the philosophy of karma, you have taken so many births, and the Buddha also say it is a jati smaran. You will take so many births and lives. So what is the root cause of all the birth and death cycle from all these lives? Means mind. What is the difference between the mind and brain? Brain is a natural phenomenon. It is the part in our body and it is situated in the head. And what are the qualities of the brain? Creativity, impulses, perceptions, skills, talents, love and compassion. It is the natural qualities of the brain. When a child is born on this earth, up to 5 years, he will lead his life with brain. He don't have any mind for 5 years. And after that, the mind will slowly create. If the brain had come originally from your birth, then what is mind? Mind is nothing but your society. It comprises the society impulses and it creates so much of violence. So mind is a small layer which was created by the society on the brain. It's a very thin layer, but it is created from so many centuries and so many years, and every human being is suffering from this mind. And you have to understand the reality and you have to understand the illusions which was created by the mind, so that you will come out of all the bondages that the mind was creating. The mind comprises the name, parents, family, institutions, caste, religion, creed, greed, psychophancy and hypocrisy, and all that society elements which create many illusions and dogmas and miserable conditions in every man's life. So, what is the difference between the inner world and the outer world? In the outer world, you will lead your life with body, mind, brain and your energies. So, nowadays if we see the younger generations, most of the people, they don't have any creativity, any talents and skills. Why? Because the brain power is very low and the mind was very active. So, because of this activeness, they have perverted and they are creating so much of violence. If the mind comprises the society, what is there in the society? Negativities are there, attractions are there, violence is there, politics is there, power and so much of polluted atmosphere, physiological, environmental and psychological, so much of pollution is there. All this comprises mind. So, you have to learn the art of living, how to use the mind when it is necessary. When it is not necessary, just switch off it. Just like you will switch off your mobile phone when it is not necessary. You have to learn the art of life. And while coming to the inner world, while coming to the spiritual journey, you don't need mind. What is meditation? Meditation is no mind state, thoughtless awareness and choiceless awareness. Means you have to sit silently, doing nothing. Thinking is also doing. You have to stop the thinking also. That we call the meditation, meditativeness. So, while you are traveling in the inner world, you have to put aside the mind. Why? Because mind will create so much of disturbance when you are in meditation and when you are going into the meditativeness. It will create so much of disturbance. So, you have to put aside the mind when you are entering into the meditation. How you will come out of this mind illusions? Mind itself is a power, it's an energy, it's a mind power. This power has two dimensions. One is positivity and the other is negativity. When the mind will become extrovert, when it is attracted by the society, when it involves in the attractions of the society, it will create so much of violence. I mean power, politics, violence, hypocrisy and these negative elements, jealous, creed, greed, psychophancy. So, when this mind is involved in these negative characters, the life will become very miserable. Likewise, we are seeing the so many people who are undergoing the miserable conditions in the present situations, and we are also witnessing it. They are facing so many health issues and psychological problems. Nowadays, the psychologists are telling most of the diseases will come by the mind itself, psychosomatic, when comparing to the body problems and also the problems which are coming from the environment. But most of the 80% of the diseases will come from the mind itself. So, what the spirituality says, you have to purify your mind. How it will get purified? When you are in meditation, when you are in meditativeness, the mind will disappear and you will enter into the no mind state, I mean meditativeness, and it will come when you come out of all the illusions which the mind has created. So, here the Buddha says, every man, every human being is traveling with a corrupted mind, with so much of negativities, and meditation works as a medicine in order to cure the disease of mind. Then when the mind gets purified, when the mind gets cured with the meditation, then finally you will realize your Buddhahood, your being. Then this earth will become a lotus paradise. This is what the Buddha says. So the whole art of meditation is, when you are sitting 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, you have to sit in meditativeness without mind. When the mind is working, you are in the world. When you are in the no mind state, then you are in meditation. So many people and so many meditators are involving in the illusions which are created by the mind. Mind will create so much of illusions also, and it won't allow a human being to see the truth as it is and to see the reality as it is. It will create so much of hindrances when you are traveling in the spirituality and also when you are leading your worldly life. So most of the people say that man should not follow the mind, he should follow the heart. Wherever the mind goes, the person should not go. Mind is just like a antenna. It will receive all the attractions and vibrations which are created in the society. If we go according to the mind, your life will become miserable and you will lead a very horrible life, and also you will create so much of hurdles. So mind itself creates hell and mind itself creates heaven, and it is the root cause of all the miseries in your life. So eradicate the mind. The death of mind, in the next step, your consciousness will take birth. When the mind dies, your consciousness will take birth. Your being will take birth. This is the mind which is creating a hurdles, and it is suppressing the consciousness, and it is suppressing your energies, and it is diverting your energies in the societal attractions, in the sensual pleasures, and in all the senses, with your vision, listening, with all your senses are becoming extrovert. If your senses are becoming extrovert and your energy is also going outwards, and this mind creating so much of illusions on the name of senses and also on the name of so much of violence, and also it is creating the so much of interpretations in the negative way. So you have to understand the nature of mind, nature of body, and nature of your senses. Then automatically you will come out of it. And this is the whole science of spirituality. And this is what the Buddha say. When you come out of this tanaha, desires, when you understand the nature of your mind, then you will come out of the misery. And what is the root cause of misery? Your desires, your attractions, your senses, and your way of living. When you learn the art of living, and you will come out of all the miseries in your life. So, understand the mind. Here, we can understand the mind with one small story. Once upon a time, a man was searching for diamonds and jewels, and he is in search of money. At one fine morning, he will go to the forest area in search of that diamonds and gold. While he was traveling in the forest, after some time, a lion came in front of him, and the man has feared, and he is running in order to save the life, and the lion is also following him to catch that person for his prey. Like that, it is going on. This man is running, and the lion is also following and running behind that person. So, after some time, he had reached the corner of the mountain edge. So, after that, there was no way. Why? Because it is a valley. And when he see the front, the lion is there, and when he see the back, there is a deep valley. And in that situations, he had find a tree at the edge of that mountain, and he had catch the branch of the tree and hanging like that. So, while catching that branches and also that ropes of the tree, and two rats, one is white and the other is black, it is cutting the ropes of the tree and the branches of the tree, and slowly he is facing the death. And that man was in very dangerous situation at that moment. If you see the front, lion is there, and if you see the down, there is a deep valley, and the ropes which he has catched to protect his life, and that is also cutting by the two rats. You can imagine the situation of that man. It's very most dangerous. He is near to death. Wherever he is witnessing the death. So, this is the stage of every human being. Actually, life is just like a dream. What is life? It is the vast journey, and it's a gradual process which was taking to you towards the death. If a baby is born on this earth, when he cross the days, one day baby will die for one day, and 30 years man will die. He came forward to the death for 30 years before. So, like that, the death is a truth. Where there is a life, there is a death. But in this life and death circle, the man still he will cover the truth with so much of illusions, and he don't see the truth as it is. Why? Because this mind is creating so much of illusions. So, what the mind will tell? If anybody dies, the mind will say he is dying, but you are not going to die. You will live for some more time. So, don't worry. Be happy. But every moment we are facing dangerous situations, and every moment we are facing the death. But the mind is creating illusions that you will stay forever. You have to understand the psychology. So, what happened to this man? When he sees front, there is a lion, and you see the downwards, there is a deep valley, and the ropes are cutting with the two rats. And at this dangerous situation, sir, on the branch of the tree, there was a nest of honeybees. With the movement of that leaves and branches by the air, the nectar is falling. Then the honeybees are moving, the nectar is falling drop by drop. And what this man had done, he had opened his mouth and he is enjoying the taste of that nectar, and he has closed the eyes. When he was enjoying the taste of nectar with closed eyes, he had forgotten all the dangerous situations which are surrounding him. He had forgotten about the lion and also the deep valley and also about the rats which are cutting the branches. He had forgotten all those things. This is the situation of every human being who had born on this earth. In the life, the man will run when something is pulling in the front side, and he will run from the situations when something is pushing in the back. So, this is the situation of every human being on this earth. Between this struggle, he don't understand the life. Slowly, slowly the death will come and take his life. So, the Buddha say, if I see the every man, I will find the every individual in this situation only. They are not understanding the reality of the life. They are leading their life in so much of illusions and they are unable to understand the truth. So, every human being is avoiding the truth. Every human being is avoiding the reality which he was conquering, which he was facing day to day life. He is just covering it with the mask. That is not the right way to see the life. So, here the Buddha say, understand the reality, come out of illusions and see the truth. That is what the Buddha say, right paradigm, samyak drishti. So, mind is the barrier for good and bad. If you understand the mind nature, you will come out of it, and if you don't understand, you will drop into the illusions of the mind, and ultimately you will end your life with misery and unpleasant conditions in your life, with so much of confusion, doldrums, diseases, physical, psychological, and ultimately you will left this body with the miserable conditions only. And this is the whole history of mankind in the world. So, in order to get rid of this, you have to be aware, you have to be conscious about your body, mind, feelings, emotions and also breath. So, the whole art of meditation was, if you become aware of your breath, that is anapanasati, and if you become aware of your body and its deeds, if you become aware of your thoughts and your mind, then naturally you will understand the mechanism and nature of that. Then one day you will come out of it, then you will connect to your consciousness. Then ultimately, when you get rid of this body, mind and matter and this world, and from the senses and also from the heart, and ultimately you will become one with your being. That is what the Buddha say, nirvana. He will say the nirvana is the paramam sukham, nirvana is the ultimate bliss. So, attain it. Come out of this mind illusions which is creating many dogmas surrounding you. Understand the mind. Don't hate the mind. Mind is a good servant if you know how to use it. But it is a dangerous master if you surrender yourself to the mind. So, understand this and come out of all the clutches of the mind. Be liberated and be happy and be peaceful without this mind, and one day you will attain the enlightenment. And this is what the Buddha is saying about the mind. Understand this, come out of mind, be in meditativeness, be alert, be conscious every moment, alert every moment, aware every moment, equanimous. This is the Buddha is saying atapi sampajano satima. So you implement this in your life and come out of all the bondages which was created by the mind and also by the body, by the society, and be liberated and become enlightened. So friends, understand this and come out of this. This is what the Buddha is saying. Thank you very much.